as a part of this, so I'll give you my experience over the last 5 years. So I'm a very good example of started somewhere, did something else, and then did something else completely to the last 5 years. I did my computer science and engineering for my bachelor's and then joined a management consulting firm, after which I joined a manufacturing company. So when somebody asks me, are you an engineer? I say yes and stop at that, nothing more. So let them assume I'm a mechanical engineer and go ahead with it. So I'll talk briefly about both companies because they were two different roles and both of which were very interesting. The first role, I was part of a small management consulting firm. It was just a 25 people organization, and we were just into B2B consulting. So it's feasibility studies, market research projects for expansion and things like that. So typically these were projects that were 3 months from start to end. So you start again, like just how we learned in research methodology. You start with a project proposal, your primary research and everything for at different parts of India or the Middle East. So, and we submit a report at the end of 3 months. And the best part of the job was every 3 months, at the end of every 3 months, you were working on something else. So 3 months you'll be working on food, the next 3 months on construction industry, and 3 months later something on steam turbines. And that was what kept it very fresh, and you don't get exhausted with the role over and over. And the advantage of it being a small company was that they give you responsibility very quickly. If you do well in the first project, then the next project they make you take over more responsibility, to the extent that I was senior consultant by the time I left in 3 years' time. So that was a great thing. Now, the best thing to do in consulting when you are a part of the industry is, it is nice to work on various verticals, but at some point specialize in one vertical or make 1 or 2 verticals your specialization, because that is where your next job opportunity is. So if you are specialized in something, then you get an opening there very soon. This is what happened for me. I did a lot of metals in that, so I got an opportunity at the end of 3 years to join a metals manufacturing company, which was an even better role, because the role that I got was part of the strategy team for the manufacturing company. So this was a company that was big in North America and Europe and wanted to expand in Asia, and they needed people for it. So the job profile was basically going to various countries and then seeing what are the options for investing there, whether there are options for acquisitions, and then you do the entire thing, all your net present value calculations, market research studies. So in this end, the fun part of it was sitting on the other end of the table and then making market management consulting companies answer to you for a change. So that was fun. But this role is very interesting and exciting as well, because this actually teaches you negotiation. It teaches you how to look at different aspects of what you can do, and you need to look at it at a more holistic perspective, saying, okay, a company here wants to invest $100 million. What is the best place to do it, and whether it is good to do it? Now, all of us will invariably come up with a plan that says, let's invest. But then at some level, you should be prudent enough to say, okay, I can invest 100 million. The plan looks great, but it may not work in reality. And this was one lesson that I learned the first project that I did here. After this, I wanted to get a little bit more experience into sales and supply operations for this one. So I moved back to the India operations, where I was doing corporate strategy for the India team. Apart from that, international sales and a little bit of operations management. So this was also the best part of, this is an advantage of this role as such. When you become a consultant to the CEO or part of a corporate strategy team, you don't work with one vertical. You work with all verticals, which gives you a picture of how the entire company functions, rather than how just your vertical functions. And that was a big, big difference. Now, to go according to this structure, my reporting structure in both places, I was reporting to the managing director in both places. So, and that gives you, that's a nice place as well, because it gives you information which most people in the company don't have. And that is an advantage. Now, the ideal skill requirement now for management consulting, the biggest skill requirement is patience, and the fact that you should be willing to travel a lot, which is a lot of fun when you think about it initially. When you think that you are okay to travel all the time, I think it will be very exciting and all that. But it is not fancy travel all of the time. There are days, for 10 days at a stretch, I had to sit in a place called Baddi in Himachal Pradesh. I kid you not, there is no transport. You will have to take a tractor to go from one place to another. They'll drop you off in the middle of nowhere and then tell you, you have to walk from here. And then the next factory will be 2.5 kilometers from there. this is also a part of management consulting. It's very nice when you think of the McKinseys and the Bains and the Booz and hundreds of the world and then say, okay, I'm going to be traveling France today, Singapore tomorrow and this one. But it is not always like that, and it's a lot of hard work. The next thing is when you do management consulting, you are dependent on other people for information, which means you have to work by their time and not yours. You may have a plan saying, I'll do this, this and this over the next 10 days, and then the first day you know that the next 10 days schedule is out of the window. And this used to happen day in and day out. So you start finding out ways to work around it, and that's a big difference. And if you're not willing to cope up with the change, then it's very, very tough. I know people who hated it and then quit. The second role, if you're working for a manufacturing company and this one, the biggest strength is that when you're an internal consultant, then you work with all the teams that are there inside the factory. So you have to make sure that you're on good terms with all of them, and people skills are ridiculously important. Technical skills, not so much, you can pick it up. If you don't know the industry, 6 months, they give you the training for 2 months and everything, you can pick that up. But people skills are the differentiator when it comes to this role. Now, whether this thing, it's mentioned here, whether every year was repetitive, not at all, because with this role, it gives you the option of doing something new all the time. Anytime you get bored, you can go talk to people and then say, okay, I would like to work on a different project. That's the biggest advantage of consulting at any given point of time. There will be 6 or 7 assignments, each of which will be completely different from the other one. So that was very good. The other big advantage of consulting companies is that every consulting company invariably works with other consulting companies around the world. So my big advantage, the big advantage that I had was, we used to work a lot with Dun & Bradstreet here in the Middle East. So whenever there was work on aluminium, I used to come over here. And this was the 3 years that I worked with the management consulting firm. I worked on projects for the Abu Dhabi government, the Qatar government. This one, we had actually written a part of the Vision 2020 plan as well, and that is the kind of exposure you get when you're consulting. And that is the positive side of consulting. It immediately gives you exposure, and you get access to information and people that you wouldn't normally otherwise. Now, yeah, this was basically it. So if you guys want to know anything else about consulting, then
3 questions.
yeah.
It was really a very nice insight on the now. I have worked as a marketing executive in brand design, but I'm looking forward to switch my role to management consulting. So, but I don't know the role ahead. Could you please tell me what skill set I should try to work upon so that I can work for a consulting?
There is this myth which actually has some truth that says anybody can be a consultant. There is some truth to it, but the biggest thing, there is again people skills are important. The biggest advantage that a marketing guy has over a technical guy is the fact that they can approach people and they can get comfortable talking to people, which is critical for management consulting, which would work in your favor. And if you can show industry experience, that's all there is. So if 1 year of technical knowledge you can show saying, okay, I know this and this in operations and this one, to mention that, and then it is about how you sell yourself. But otherwise it is not that difficult. So your analytical skills are tested, but not so much. That is something that you can learn on the job.
Arun, how engaged were you post the consulting with your clients? Like you do a consulting project, you give a deliverable, and how do you come back to the customer? How do you measure it? How do you see the implementation?
Most of the consulting projects, invariably what happens is, you do a consulting project for a company, this goes on for 3 months, and then you submit your report, and then there's another dialogue for about a couple of months where they come back with queries. Now, you submit it to, say, the general manager of a company, he then has to present it to a board, and then there is a lot of back and forth with more information that they want. And then there is a lull. There isn't too much interaction with them. But invariably, every consulting assignment has a 2-year repetition period. So if it's a market study kind of thing, then every company wants updated information once in 2 years. So that kind of repeat business keeps going on. So what we used to do whenever we were doing these projects, or whenever we were in the city, we would just drop in and talk to them for a few minutes, chat up, and then leave. And then this works well in 2 years. And the other advantage that we had was sister concerns. Now suppose you do a great project for one company, invariably you get access to the next company, So that works very well in consulting.
What are the parameters for estimate of performance?
here. This is the hardest question you can ask because there is no measurable performance. No client can actually hold you to the book because the first page of every consulting report is this is based on information we have got from others and we take no liability for any decisions that you may take on it. It is very hard to measure, but and that is the challenge with the consulting because you cannot measure. I can tell you saying you can do this, this, and this to improve your market structure, but then it actually comes down to your implementation of it, which is where consulting is more advised than not actually doing things. But that is the challenge. There is no strict deliverable saying measurable value saying this is what we wanted to achieve. No. No, because I did computer science engineering and all I've done is heavy industries, construction, packaging, food. You learn on the job. You learn on the job. You learn on the job. As soon as the project starts, the first 15 days is given for you to learn everything you can, which is why it is long hours. Consulting is very long hours. You make sure you know everything about it and then you talk to industry experts and then keep taking it as it goes. I genuinely.
I have one comment and one question. Which do you want first?
Comment.
Question. What is the role that you're looking for beyond this?
I want to get back into manufacturing. I don't want to get back into.
No, that's okay.
But corporate
You know, you have to be more specific.
I ideally.
You have to have, this is what you've done. This
Ideally.
is what you do in an MBA and this is what you're looking for. So I'm sure you've thought of the role and probably even, you know, a company or a sector that you will work for. So that's what I want.
Most MNCs have a strategy team with them. This can be strategy for both how they would expand as well as for sourcing, as well as how their marketing activities are to be done. My old firm had it. So it used to be based out of the headquarters in Sweden, and that was a fantastic team to work in again because they work in different geographies. It's very exciting work. Every 3 months it's about process improvement, how they can do things better, new avenues. So that is what I'd like to get
You could
into.
also look at, say, a company and your own company and say, okay, this is the role I'd like to get into, these are the issues that the company is facing, this is what I'd like to do.
Yeah.
You can actually pinpoint.
Exactly.
There's a reason I've asked this question. You should know what you want to do beyond this. And this is exactly, I had a long chat with Dr. Mathur this morning. Because I mean, I've been thinking about what you told me regarding your projects. And we are working on it, right? And I got also a detailed note from my phone, which I didn't have time to read. It was just before the class. But you know, this is a clear example of, alright, this is what I have done. This is what I want to do. At least in that one pager that you will write before you go to CVP is, you know, I can give you other details, but I have done this. Now, like Arun said, and this is what I want to do. Can I identify a role and probably a company and an issue that I can work on? Is that possible? Yes? Now that's what I'm trying to work on, you know, and this is, I mean, thank you for this opportunity, but it just came at the right time.
Strategically used.
Yes, I have
strategically used.
it, but I mean, I just wanted to demonstrate that this is exactly what we want, right? And I'll try to articulate that in a document which I can send across to you with the help of Dr. Masuda. So we are not going to look for exactly what, but if you give us the company, the role, the issue, based on that, we will look for companies that you can work on. Is that fair? Fair thinking. Give me more time. I need 2-3 days more to mull over it and to work on. The comment I want to make is there are two very interesting things that Arun said, which I thought I must share with you. One is travel to places which had no probably facilities, transport facilities. So he's gone through that, you know, line, which is a great experience to have. And those of you who haven't gone through that grind, please pick up profiles that will let you go through that grind. Because that's the way you will climb. I'm sure you will learn a hell of a lot. Today there are social projects that MBA graduates go through so that they go through that grind. They are sensitive to what's happening. You and you also get to know the conditions that people live in, which is a very, very important part of MBA education. So I think that's one. And second, I'm sure what consulting deadlines. So if you're crying over too much of